Ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney, tell me, is it the truth? Don't you really get any respect?
Jackie, I don't get no respect at all.
No.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we played hide and seek. Well, they wouldn't even look for me. I'll tell you, it's the same thing with my friends, no respect.
No?
Well, my friends tell me when I call them on the phone, I should use a certain signal. Let it ring twice, hang up, and don't call back. I'll tell you though, Jackie, I respect you, you know. You look great. Remember, you look thin.
Well, it's really no problem to look thin.
Really? No problem at all? Well, tell me, how do you look thin?
Just hang around real fat people, that's all.
I thought, we would start off with a nice offensive joke for everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Rhythm Section Podcast. That's Jeff.
That's Derek.
This is brought to you by SRP Studios and designed to spotlight the greater Memphis and North Mississippi music community.
And parts of Arkansas, Missouri,
And parts unknown.
Yeah, parts unknown.
So, Jeff, let's talk about Facebook.
Yeah, man. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time, you can find our video on Facebook and YouTube. And the audio comes out in the morning, actually, on all your favorite streaming platforms.
So Facebook is at the Rhythm Section Pod. And then go click that link tree. That will take you to the YouTube channel, among everything else.
Yeah.
Patreon. We got some new ones to announce here soon. And click that link if you're interested in throwing some money in that tip jar for us. And we have merch, shirts, hats, coffee mugs, tumblers, and stickers at Boba Cream, 131 West Commerce Street, Hernando. What's going on, Jeff?
Man, not much. You were solo again this weekend. I've been in the country for a week.
Out in the sticks.
Man, I had a lot of work to do after being sick, and I had like a 3 or 4 week time period there where I couldn't do much of anything.
Just out there cutting grass and
trimming trees, cutting grass.
How did your allergies handle all of that?
They never handle it very well. I have to double up on lots of meds.
I know that drill.
Yeah.
As I'm getting older, it is getting better in the sense that it doesn't drag all summer or all year like I used to have. Real sinus issues always.
Yeah.
I don't know what changed, but when it is season, man, it's brutal.
It's tough.
It's awful.
This is a tough part of the country to live in if you have allergies.
All right, y'all. So today's guest is Lance McDaniel.
Yes.
From ShotGunBillys. It's exciting having him in here.
Yeah.
But we'll get to him here in a moment. But first off, what do we got here? We got 2 new patrons.
Awesome.
Mr. Steve Kirkendall. Thank you, sir. I'm glad that he stepped up. What's funny is as tomorrow the new episode launches as we record this, he gets a shout out.
Yep.
So
cool.
I actually Facebook messaged him that. I was like, hey man, expect a shout out soon. So, and then just today, LaShawn Robinson Henderson, which we're going to be highlighting shortly because I went out to see Pulse this weekend.
Yeah.
But thank you. The gesture is really what counts the most. I think we can all understand $1 a month is, not lighting anyone up.
But it means the world to us.
You have to find the app, set up an account, add a payment method, and then lock it in.
It takes effort.
Yeah, a lot of effort. And in the world of,
instant gratification.
Yeah, and it's just hard to get someone to even like a post.
Right.
When you look at your stats and you see 1,000 people saw this post and I got 1 like and no comments.
Right.
And that's just the nature of the beast. It is what it is. So for people to go through that hassle to do that means a lot.
And then you have instances where bands like Elevation, their episode comes out and we saw how much they pushed.
It was wonderful.
Dude, it was everywhere, and they were liking and sharing.
Yes.
And we just couldn't thank you guys enough when you do that. We appreciate it.
Their organic response was amazing.
Yep.
But yes, Melanie and LaShawn, and I even told them this several times. I'm like, I'm not picking favorites. I'm not trying to pick on guests, but if every guest was their own advocate, like they are for themselves, we would have twice the reach.
Absolutely.
So outstanding job, Melanie and LaShawn, for just continuing to push that stuff out.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody. I say this on Facebook almost daily, at least every other day, but thanks to everybody for your support and all the shares and comments. We couldn't thank you enough. It just, this thing has grown and is continuing to grow and reach, and it's because of you guys.
Yeah, and we can say that looking into the camera right now, because talking about growing, we're at Sidecar Memphis right now.
Yeah.
Should have mentioned that right at the front. So if y'all are watching and listening right now, thank you for being here. There's a good chance everyone's mingling leading into the interview. Yeah. And then everyone quiets down. Okay, Derek and Jeff's not talking anymore.
Right, they're done.
All right, let's sit down. But thank you for being here. Yep. Thank you to Sidecar Memphis for having us again. Yep. And it's going to be a good time tonight. So I hope y'all enjoy, especially this interview with Lance coming up.
Sure.
All right. So, and then the next watch party
is
July 10th, everybody out there. We don't know who the featured guest will be for that yet.
Nope.
But July 10th, Monday, July 10th at 7 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have a good time there. So, my weekend. So I didn't have any plans going out Friday. And now we're recording this on June 4th. So put that in perspective. But Mama Darlene wanted to go see Roxy Love at Sidecar. And then I'm like, these are old friends of mine.
I know those guys.
Especially the keyboard player, Manny Zapata.
Yeah.
He and I go way back, all the way back to my very beginnings of my casino years in 2006. And I've played with him several times, filled in for him because he's bass and keys. So he needed a bass player one time, and long friends, neighbors for a long time. He's my daughter's godfather.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I never told you that.
Never told me that.
Yeah. So very close friend of mine. It was good catching up with him. But yeah, so Roxy Love, great band by now. Alex, if you could throw up some pictures. On vocals, we got the beautiful Tracy McCullough. And beautiful voice and a bass player.
Yeah.
Just cool. Andy McCullough, her husband. Yeah. So sorry, I just, hope you didn't, no disrespect to saying your wife is beautiful. Doug McKinn, awesome drummer.
He is.
And then of course, like Manny Zapata. So they are just a great band, good variety of music, awesome vocals. You got all four of them can sing. Another one of those deals. They're all harmonizing with each other.
And I know I've seen posts from Andy over months where Pete Mandillo did shows with them.
That's right.
So, and Andy was a big Beat fan, just like me.
In fact, I can't remember the name of the project, but Pete and Andy was starting a new thing.
I did not know that.
And do you remember, obviously remember, the weekend, the tribute weekend that we had for Pete at Hadley's? That side project was booked that Friday.
I didn't know.
We went out to see Area 51 on Saturday.
Okay.
So that's how close they were. They had already been rehearsing. Sorry, Andy, I can't remember the name of the side project, but he was very close.
Okay.
Pete too. So when we were hanging out at Sidecar, Pete came up.
Okay.
For sure,
Yeah.
And we're going to be having them on the show
for sure
too. I picked on them because I literally reached out to both Andy and Tracy in November.
Yep.
Like when this podcast, we hadn't even published an interview yet.
Right.
I just knew I wanted them in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, I invited y'all like 6 months ago. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I sent you a message. Oh, we didn't see it. So let's go. So we're going to get them in here this fall. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good fun. Good people. Awesome. Very sweet people. But then something that I did Saturday was in my calendar since the minute I was at the last show, and that was Pulse.
Right.
Our awesome Pink Floyd tribute band. I saw them at Neil's for the first time 2.5 months ago or so. I can't remember the date on that, but they told me that night, we're playing here on this date. I immediately put it in my calendar.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, they do it so well, and it's such a, and I've mentioned this before, you know, Floyd, there's a special place in my heart for Floyd.
Yeah.
You know, there's other sections of my heart like that, like for professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sitting back and just listening to them play that music so well, I love it.
And people have heard me say this before. I've never had a big Floyd moment, but you don't have to be a super huge fan of Floyd to enjoy this show.
Yeah,
I've been there and seen it, and it's phenomenal, and it just really makes you want to research the band and learn. If you don't already know about Floyd, you want to go find out what you can, because it's just, they do such a great job. And all the members of that band we eventually want to have in here as well.
I mean, it would take 9 weeks. Seriously.
There's a few people, but definitely worth getting them in here for an interview.
And it's all about sonics, like the sonic value of the Floyd music, and they mix it so well on stage and all the vocals. And this time I have all the names.
Yeah.
Last time I talked about them, and hopefully by now, again, Alex, pictures. Not a whole lot of pictures for this one, but we didn't have all the names.
Right.
Now we're trying to be more prepared with names. So I'm going to list them off here.
We're trying.
So I'm starting with the rhythm section first, because that's those two. I what's the right term? I gushed with Lewis about how awesome he and the bass player sound. So bass is Jeff Robinson.
Yeah.
And one of the founding members.
Yeah.
Just grasps that Roger Waters feel.
Yeah.
And great tone. Like I've never heard such clean bass tone in that room.
Yeah.
You hear every note. And then paired up with Louis Leibovich on drums, and they've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
So it's just
when you guys, if you're not a musician and you hear that term pocket, look in the dictionary, and those two guys, their photo is right there.
It used to be us.
I don't know if it was ever us.
Never. And then of course, lead guitar, another founding member, Josh Haynes, who
monster,
note for note perfection. It's just insane. And then lead singer Ron Heron, who really, especially there's some songs where that Roger Waters voice,
it works.
He's got that. Rhythm guitar, Andy Tate, who's new addition.
Yeah.
Keyboards and sound effects, Michael Russell, another OG.
Yeah.
And then the three ladies in the back that just
crush it.
All the polish and all of the amazing vocals, and then Gig in the Sky. If no one knows what that song is, look it up. And there's no lyrics. It's this lady that just blasts this beautiful voice through the whole song.
Yeah.
In sounds, just not yelling, but just high end screaming and just using her voice as like more of an instrument. It's beautiful. And Gina Moore, LaShawn Robinson Henderson, and Melanie Pierce split it up 3 ways. They each have their own section.
Awesome.
And it's wild and so good. And last night I knew I was going to do this. I wanted to film them.
Right.
I didn't film any other part of the whole band. I just wanted the ladies close up. I did a close up on them and just spotlighted that performance. Those three ladies right there. So of course, LaShawn and Melanie from Elevation Memphis.
Yep.
And again, going back to, we just wrapped up their week. So it was awesome. Stayed till the end. It was good catching up with a bunch of people. Thank you to Alan Bone and Kelsey King. I sat with y'all. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Bumped into Danny Day.
Cool.
Laura Haynes and her mom.
All right.
And I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone, but it was, as always, just a fun, chill moment in Neil's. And it's a perfect room for that band because it's comfortable seating, and
I hate that I wasn't in town. I wish I could have been there with you. Sounds like a great time.
I loved it that you weren't in town.
Oh, shut up.
So awesome. Shall we talk about our friend Lance McDaniel?
Let's do it.
So how long was he scheduled for? Or was that something
It
that
was a minute.
quick?
I mean, no, it wasn't. He was scheduled for several weeks, a couple of months.
Yeah.
This thing's grown so great that it's impossible for me to call someone on a Monday and have them in here the next Sunday.
Yeah. Especially with musician schedules.
Yeah, schedules, and we're booked out so far, but got him in as quick as I could.
I mean, in fact, he was a little late because he was coming from a gig.
He was playing a gig on a Sunday.
He played in Collierville that day.
I believe it was Rock House, Collierville that he said he came here from.
Just did like an acoustic deal. So.
Yeah.
But he came to talk. He was awesome.
He was.
Very sweet person and fun. We had a lot of fun in this interview. Quickly, some of the things we talk about, of course, is the genesis of ShotGunBillys, how it starts, how they all met. They got 3 albums. We talk about Bam, Capricorn, and Mississippi are the 3 albums. Their links are going to be in the description. So if you want to go to the website and then through there find their songs and everything, everything you'll need is in that website. Being an original artist, of course, we're going to bring up the writing, and that was the other dynamic. We have cover artists, we have original artists, and a mixture of each, and he's definitely way more original. I don't think, maybe when he does his acoustic stuff, I think he,
I would imagine
some standard stuff, but he's a writer first. So we always tap into that and learn more about process and inspiration.
Right.
In 2008, they had a song called Let's Get Country that landed on a movie soundtrack. The movie was called The River Within. I don't believe I recognize that movie.
No.
I hope it wasn't like a sea level. No, I'm just kidding. And he's got a lot of cool endorsement deals. And then, of course, we really nerd out about guitars.
Yeah.
Way beyond I can handle.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He started spitting out serial numbers and brands and offshoots. Right. I'm like, all right, man, I have, a plain old 5-string bass. That's all I got. But well, cool, man. I think that's it. Do you have anything? Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk about, your Vegas trip?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's coming up. I'm headed to the World Series of Poker in Las Vegas, Nevada. What happens in Vegas?
So you just sit back and watch? I'm
going to watch, but I'm going to play as well. My buddy, Donna Murray, hopefully she's listening. She is a pretty damn good poker player. She actually made a living at it for a few years. She won one big tournament, was in a magazine and all that stuff, got a bracelet. She's going to enter I think it's a $1,500 buy-in.
What
tournament.
Are you entering?
I'm going to probably go in halves and stake her in that tournament because I got a better chance at staking her than I do winning myself.
Oh, so, okay. So you
stake her for half and she wins, I get half.
Nice.
So that's what us novice players who really don't know what the hell we're doing, that's how we make
But you
money.
said you're going to play.
Yeah, I'm going to play in some small tournaments. They have $100 buy-in sit and go tournaments is what they call them. And I'll find a cash game to sit in low stakes, but I don't play the big money. I'm not that good.
Man, all the years I played in casinos, it's shocking to me I didn't have a gambling issue because of my addictive personality. I mean, I definitely took advantage of the 24/7 drinking.
Yeah.
At casinos.
Understood.
But I think penny slots are just, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Or just any of the slots, just tapping the button. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I used to play the little poker machines at the bar.
Yeah.
To get the beer and drinks, whatever. But I did enjoy sitting at a blackjack table once in a while.
I do enjoy blackjack.
I got decent enough where I could hang. Yeah. I wouldn't piss everyone off around me for, hitting on something stupid.
Right.
But I always gave the money back.
Sure. Most of us do.
Yeah. I mean, one night was wild, man. I got $1,000.
Yeah.
And even some friends were like, dude,
you need to go.
You need to go walk, man. And then sure enough,
they will get it back.
The issue, and this is why they do that, is every 20 minutes they come to ask you if you need a drink.
Yeah.
It's $3 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I partaked in all of that.
Sure.
Back in that day. And I
believe it's partook.
Partook?
Yeah.
Shocker. Look, we did pretty good. It's only one time so far.
And we're almost done with this intro.
I believe my drink at that time was, we called it whiskey and rye. It was, Crown, ginger ale with lime.
Good stuff. Sounds good.
Yeah, it cost me $1,000.
They are not free. But yeah, I'm going to have a great time there. I'm hoping that I can run into some poker pros and do some selfies with them. I'll be bugging them.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a
my
good time,
favorite
right?
player is Daniel Negreanu. He is a Canadian guy, and he is one hell of a poker player. And if I see him, I don't give a shit what he's involved in. I'm going to get a picture with him. He could be right in the middle of a hand.
Oh yeah, I'm
at
sure
the
he'd
main
appreciate
event.
that.
Hey Daniel, can we?
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to it.
How many days you staying out there?
Like 5 or 6.
Damn, all right.
We're leaving on Wednesday, and we'll be back the following Tuesday. So
I managed to go to Vegas finally and play. I've been there 1 week
yeah.
in my lifetime.
Oh, and our friend Jason Moore, the Dick Dale tribute artist, he was just there. I think he's back now, so I need to get in touch with him and see how he did.
Weren't you guys supposed to have lunch?
Yeah, well, we thought we were going to be there at the same time, and then we texted back and forth, and he was like, "No, I'm going this week." So obviously, we couldn't have lunch.
That's all good.
Together, so.
Well, when you come back, you can have lunch and both tell each other your Vegas stories.
Absolutely, we can tell lies.
All right, y'all. Merch, shirts, hats, mugs, tumblers, stickers. Check it out. 131 West Commerce Street, Boba Cream.
And right here at Sidecar Memphis, we have them with us.
There you go. Come ask. They're in a box somewhere.
Get at me, bro.
In this building. Facebook at the Rhythm Section Pod. This episode drops every Monday, 6 p.m. Central on both Facebook and YouTube. You'll be seeing clips throughout the week of this episode. And of course, if you want to, again, support and throw $1 in that tip bucket. I can't wait for this to be out in front of Sidecar right now. Hopefully everyone's mingling and not paying attention.
Odds are
everyone's going to be quiet for that moment. All right, I'm done talking, y'all.
Yeah.
Again, thank you to Sidecar Memphis for letting us do this. Thank you all for being here. We're so happy that you're here and doing this with us. And please enjoy our interview with Lance McDaniel.
See ya.
All right, Lance McDaniel, man, thanks so much for being here.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
This is a pleasure.
Yeah.
You and I got to know each other for 5 minutes now before turning these mics on.
And counting.
Yes. And have you guys met before, Jeff?
Just through social media.
Right.
Okay.
I haven't met him in person,
Right.
but I'm obviously we know who you are and who the ShotGunBillys are. And popular band in town.
So you are those two.
Yeah, we are the two. Yeah. I think there's 5 or 6 others.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, awesome, man. Where do you live?
I just live right across the bridge, north of Marion,
Oh, so you're out in
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, but I could see the bridge. I tell people I could be downtown Memphis before people from Memphis can be there if you got a reason to go downtown.
You're in Jeff Cobble land up there.
Jeff's across there also.
Everyone knows Cobble.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Look, we're here to learn all about you and definitely talk about ShotGunBillys. I mean, that's really an exceptional band that everyone knows. You got a lot of original music. Long history, been together for a while. But before we tap into that, let's get to know you a little bit more. So where are you originally from?
I grew up about 25 miles from where I live now, in Marktree, Arkansas.
Okay.
And Marktree, you're kind of in the country if you're in town. And I grew up 9 miles outside of that.
Okay.
My dad plays, my grandmother plays, my great-grandfather plays, my grandfather. Everybody if you come to a family reunion, it's just a guitar fest.
We want an invite to one.
A lot of
a
lot of singing too.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny because everybody, okay, what are we doing next? And they turn and look at me, and I'm like, somebody else be the glue for once. But it's a lot of fun, when we have our family reunions. And unfortunately, I'm going to miss it. It's this coming Saturday, and we're in South Dakota, Sturgis. We're doing Little Sturgis.
Cool.
We've got the big
Little
one.
Sturgis?
Yeah, it's the ATV rally.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. And then we go back up for the big one. Last year, we did 17 shows in 14 days.
Wow.
So,
busy.
How's your throat feel after that?
I come back sounding like Howlin' Wolf.
Sultry voice.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you really started playing? Like when it really became an interest for you?
I always say it was inevitable. With everyone in the family that plays, But I have the perfect redneck story. So my mom and dad were, high school sweethearts. And Dad was meat and potato. He's a guitar player. Skinner, ZZ Top, 38 Special, that stuff, Molly Hatchet. And Mom was really into the whole Sly and the Family Stone, the funk things, Billy Joel. And so I got off of both of them. But we were going down the road, and Freebird came on the radio. I was 9. And I remember exactly where we were. And I turned to my mom. I said, Mom, I want a guitar.
Was it the massive solos and stuff?
I don't know, man. It just, Mom and Dad, they were divorced at the time, and I didn't hear that music anymore. Right. And so when it comes, just happens to, happenstance, it comes on the radio, boom, there it is. And I just, that feeling of, and it hit me. I don't know. It was just that moment. And my grandmother ended up buying me a guitar at 9. And,
are we beating Jimmy Fulp's record?
No, Fulp was younger.
Okay.
He was like 7 years old when he had his. Yeah, his epiphany was very young.
Oh, really? I figure he came drumming out,
out of the womb.
Out of the womb. Yeah.
So that's cool though. So 9, and you get your guitar, and I'm assuming from that part of the story that maybe Leonard Skinner is a huge influence.
Yeah, of course, all of those guys. I actually have a Skinner shrine at my house.
Sweet.
I have one of Alan Collins' guitar amps. I've got parts of the Plane. I've got stuff signed by Ed King. Yeah, man, it's my. That's the nucleus. That's
awesome.
Home. You know what I mean?
Me and Jeff were very blessed and had the fortune to interview Ricky Medlock for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you?
At the music, we were invited to have a little booth at the Mississippi Music Awards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
And he was receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award, and we met the right people, and they made it happen. And he walked in, sat with us for 3-4 minutes, and that was it.
That's Rick. Yeah, he's got so many stories. So he was the guy. Slide's I love to play slide. It's kind of the thing. And, Ricky, I think Train was probably the first slide solo I learned. And I have pictures of me dressed like Ricky, the trench coat, and I'm a kid.
We
need
those pictures. We'll put them up
they're
on
out there. My buddies love to torture me with those pictures, so fast forward in a band with Jeff Adams and Stacy Michelle, which Stacy is Ricky's wife.
And she toured with Kid Rock.
Yeah. She, and then before that, she was with Meatloaf and then Joe Walsh. She was.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she at LA did really well, And so anyway, it's funny. She would video me playing some stuff in our band Memphis City Limits that we had, and send it to Ricky. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, And so Ricky and I got to be friends through that, and so it just he would come to the practices, and I'm just like, I'm not practicing today.
Right.
Ricky's here.
Oh man!
Tell me some Skinner stories.
That could be pressure. Yeah.
We're hoping to get him in here.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's on the big tour right now, 50th anniversary.
Right.
So the gatekeeper, the guy that will make it happen for us. He's cool. He's just like, hey, they're touring. Yeah, and we're just going to keep trying to get him in here, man. That'd be amazing.
I'll hit Stacy up too and try to come from another direction and hopefully, make that happen.
Let's get her first and make him jealous.
Oh yeah, you definitely need to. She's got so many stories too. But Ricky, oh my God, and he loves to tell them, and that's what I love about. You know what I mean? He's just so open and just such a great guy.
Yeah, he didn't come across with a vibe like we're putting something on him. Or,
no, he was happy to be there.
He was
genuinely happy to talk to us, which is great.
And he took a hat. He just walked. Thanks, guys. Walked with a hat. And then I was like, that's cool. And then I chased him down for $12. Like, hey, man, I'll give you a discount. No, we didn't. You can have that hat.
You got to wear it though.
On stage, please.
Right.
That'd be funny if you saw a new Leonard Skinner show on YouTube from this tour and someone's wearing the hat.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great, man.
But
so Mark Tree, back to Mark Tree.
Yep.
I just was a kid in a mid-sized home with my mom and my stepdad and my sister, and beating the chops down, and bless my mama's heart. She is such a sweetheart. She walks in and that face, turn it down.
Yeah.
Turn it down. I said, I'm like, Mom, you're interrupting. I'm in front of thousands of people right now. Could you, in your bedroom, you're getting after it.
You heard it.
Yeah. And
in the zone.
I said, you can hear it? She said, the whole neighborhood can hear it. That's slowly turn up a little bit more, a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
But
guitar players are all afflicted with that.
Oh yeah, we don't want to hear it. We want to feel it. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I started playing with my dad in his band at 14.
What was the music?
Southern rock and roll.
Just Southern rock.
Oh man, yeah.
That's what you rooted in.
Oh yeah, hardcore. And but a lot of the bars around Northeast Arkansas, and the first one I played was this little place called the Starlight. It was in between Osceola and Lepanto. I don't know if you know where this Mississippi County. I mean, it should have been called South of Heaven. You know, I mean, this place I was baptized in the fire. You know, and it was funny. I remember we'd be playing a slow song, and they would come out and dance, and you play quiet enough, you could hear their feet on the dirty floor. You know, and but I wasn't interested in the craziness of it all. I just love music.
Yeah,
and I'm 49 and I love it. I love it just like I did when I was 14.
Well, you must, because as far as I can tell, you're gigging your ass off, man.
Last year.
You do a lot of solo stuff.
Yeah.
Within your schedule with Shotgun, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. I'll do myself, and then I'll do a duo with either my daughter with some pipes.
That's cool.
And or Joe Boogie. And then we'll do a trio sometime. You know, it just depends on what someone's looking for. We're trying to go any direction. And but my wife's a DJ, so we've got everything covered in every direction.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys entertain.
Yeah.
So other influences.
Okay.
Tell us
who's your top?
Yeah.
Top. I love this question because it's Dwayne Allman.
Okay.
Why Dwayne? Well, I had this guy living in my hometown, and he grew up in Marktree, but he was upstate New York in the 60s, and he was in the Army. And he had, from what I understand, he told me he had his bags packed. He was ready to go to Vietnam. It was just a question of when, you know.
Right.
For some reason, it never happened. So he got to see all the cool bands. He showed me pictures he had even taken of Hendrix. And he kind of took me under his wing. I guess he didn't realize that I'd caught on as much at such a young age. And so as I'm leaving, he gives me 2 cassettes. One was Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood, and the other one that changed my life was the Allman Brothers Live at the Fillmore.
Okay.
And the other thing with it was this: everybody was into Van Halen, which I love all these players now. Randy Rhoads, Hendrix, of course,
Zeppelin, and all that.
Yeah, but nobody. Dwayne was mine now.
Right.
I have to have somebody that's only mine.
Sure.
And that would make sense that you love Slide.
Yeah.
That
Of course.
From him.
Right. And then, but Dickie Betts is just as much of influence as what Dwayne is. They're just 2 total cats, man. And different cats. But man, I go a lot of different directions though. I'm not just.
No, that's cool.
You know, that was the basis. That was the beginning.
In Sync, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Sean Cassidy. Let's see, what was that?
Dude.
I do run.
Full disclosure.
Run.
My first concert, Sean
Really?
Cassidy. First concert I ever went to, I think I was 9.
Oh my goodness.
At the Mid-South Coliseum.
I cannot imagine all the kids.
Oh, dude, it was unreal. My mother took me, and it's a memory I'll never forget.
I bet.
And it was just a couple of years ago, the Commercial Appeal had an article about that show. My mom cuts it out of the Commercial Appeal.
Telling me this.
Mails it to me.
Yes.
It's hanging on my refrigerator right now. She said, do you remember this? Oh, yeah, I do, Mom.
I don't remember my first concert.
Yeah.
I do.
Who was yours?
No idea.
My dad, Mid-South Coliseum.
Yeah.
Mom, my favorite band at the time, Rat.
Oh, dude.
Rat.
Yeah, you're in
Rat.
my neighborhood now.
Out of the cellar.
Yeah.
And it was Rat and Billy Squire. Rat was opening for Billy Squire. And Mom, can I go to the show with Dad? And no. Just so happened the night the show showed up, though. Hey, Mom, I'm going to spend the night with Dad tonight. You know, and I can't help where Dad takes me, right? And we get tickets at the door, and I'm thinking, you automatically think nosebleeds. And
tickets at the door.
Yeah. 5th row.
That never
center
happened.
stage.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I lost my mind.
Dude, that's great.
And my mom worked at the school, and I came to school with a T-shirt, a Rat T-shirt. It had a mixer on, and with the rat was missing part of his skull, or whatever. You see his brain and all the plugs going.
And Mom's like, "What?
Where'd you get that shirt from?"
How old were
Dad
you
got
now?
it for me.
I was 4th grade.
Awesome.
4th grade. Oh wow,
That's awesome.
So
4th grade.
yeah, man.
I have a 14-year-old. She'll be 15 in August, and taking her to Metallica in November.
Oh man.
So for 15 years old, she's going to see her first really massive concert.
I did that just last year. My daughter and we went to see Maiden, and
Oh,
my
cool.
son, we went to see Maiden in
That's awesome.
Oklahoma. So it was what a production.
I have not seen that band, and I would love to see them before they're done.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
And because Bruce is still bringing it like
It's crazy. He even had cancer.
Yeah.
He fought through that.
Those guys are just still on fire, and before I'd always promised my daughter I would take her and I would be playing or something. They'd come to Nashville and would never happen, so it finally happened.
3-guitar assault, big
man.
time.
Yeah.
But so reading through your website and everything, I saw something with Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And Jim Dandy. Do you guys have history with them? Or do you?
Yeah, I do. Dave, our bass player, played with them some too, but about a year, I guess I was out with them some, for the most part. I told Jim I can't really leave my band, but we went out and did some runs with them, and it was great to be a part of that.
Sure.
Ricky, I just love Rick, and of course we just lost him, but man, just a fun guy to be around, and they're not what they were. I mean, that's understandable, and I don't mean that I'm total respect because, anybody has anything to say about them, maybe you can say that the next time you play in front of, 350,000 people at the California Jam, or you play Royal Albert Hall. Maybe, this particular show, I was playing bass, and Ricky and I were rooming, and he was looking out the window, and I love this story. And I'm just crunching, I've got YouTube going and I've got my headphones on. I'm just working on bass, trying to get these songs down. And I'm going, this is insane. And boom, I come up on a video of him at the Royal Albert Hall. And I just stopped. And I look at him. He's looking out the window. I'm looking at his back. And I said, Ricky? I said, yeah, I played the Royal Albert Hall. He goes, oh, yeah, we did that a few times, Lance. And I just went, God sake, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
I mean, that's real.
And that band has cultivated a lot of our musicians from this area.
Yeah, it really has.
That name comes up constantly.
A lot.
Right.
Do you know Rocco Walls?
I know Rock. Yeah, of course.
He's played bass with them. And
Johnny Roth, Flexer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Lane.
Yeah, just keeps coming up.
Yeah, some big names.
Yeah. John Roth, I think he was in the middle of it for a while, wasn't he?
He was.
But the first thing, when we had our first practice, my buddy had a 6-string banjo, and I thought, well, I'll take it, and kind of worked up Uncle Elijah.
So we call him a ganjo, is one of those deals? Yeah.
And so I worked up the banjo part on Uncle Elijah, and I didn't say anything about it, and we get in there practice, and I plug it up, and I'm doing my best to do the rolls, and Jim's like, oh, my goodness, Lance, that's the best. It just sounds authentic. Sounds like it did when we recorded, man. Well, you got to take that everywhere we go now. And I'm like, oh, no.
I guess I'm a banjo player now.
I guess I'm a banjo player.
Being in the slide guitar, are you down with Derek Trucks?
Mm-hmm.
You follow
Big time.
him?
Yeah, it's the only guitar player that's ever scared me. It freaked me out how good he was.
Yeah.
And then I as I kind of studied him, I'm not saying I got him figured out. Please don't think I mean anything like that. But I kind of caught on a little bit how, I kind of use the neck going up and down, kind of like at an angle. And my patterns that I use with slide. And he literally works all the way up the neck,
Right.
and catching those microtones, those Indian microtones or whatever. The cat is incredible.
Because you have to be precise because you can't have ringing strings, right?
Right.
That's
you guys
the
are
few
talking
times
out of my
the few
league.
times I've ever tried, put a slide on, and it's so noisy because I don't know what I'm doing, and it's just strings are buzzing and you're hitting frets, and
Right.
you got to be have a lot of finesse with that, don't you?
You do, and it's just one of those things. The more you do it, the better I guess you get at it, or
Are you deadening?
not as bad.
Are you deadening strings at
Someone asked me once
the bridge?
and I don't realize I'm doing it because it's just become that second nature thing, I guess. I love Derek, but just Delta Blues, Sunhouse, Charlie Patton, Robert Johnson, what those guys did with one guitar. And, I'll do a thing. I'll do Crossroads and try to do it kind of like, Robert, in an old style of doing it.
Sure.
And I just always say those guys were doing all they could to stay out of the fields. They didn't want to play guitar. And I said, 2023, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to stay out of the field. But, oh yeah, man. Derek he just took what Dwayne did and just,
he grew up around it too.
Absolutely with Butch.
He was raised in that band.
Yeah, right.
Right.
His uncle Butch was a drummer. And so, Yeah, man. Yeah,
He just fit right in. Warren Haynes.
I was just fixing to say Warren. I'm probably just as influenced by Warren as I am Dwayne. And what's cool, I've got some friends right now that's out to see Mule and with Warren's band.
Yeah, Government Mule. Yeah,
and I have one of Dwayne's slides, and I have one of my buddy Matt Montgomery. Did a pretty amazing thing there. I've got one of Dwayne's slides and one of Warren's slides, and I think I'm trying to get them to sign it. Kind of a neat deal, but. Yeah, you hold that slide of Dwayne Allman's. He's just like, I mean,
there's DNA on that.
Yeah,
thing.
So Matt facilitated that.
Yeah, Matt did. He surprised me. He's done that.
Montgomery
is such a great guy.
He's a wizard. That one.
He is.
Oh, he is.
He's going to be in here a few weeks.
Is he?
Yeah,
good.
Looking forward to that.
Man, that boy loves music.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have lunch with him Monday.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Good deal.
Yeah,
he and we've known each other, I guess, around 26 years now.
Awesome.
Do you use any of his pedals?
Well, I want to build one with him.
There you go.
That's kind of.
Is he going to have ShotGunBillys sort of mixed into it?
No, sure. I just
the shotgun gain, whatever.
Buckshot. I don't know, man. I'd like to build something that has something that incorporates with slide with some compression and some different things. But
custom made.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, it seems like he can do anything.
But no doubt.
Yeah.
I ask him, man, how in the world?
Yeah.
My knowledge,
yeah.
And he was on the Monsters of Rock cruise and taking pictures with people from all these major bands that use his stuff.
Right.
Awesome.
How great is that?
That is really cool.
Yeah. Matt's good at putting things together. You know what I mean? Definitely.
All right, man. Let's talk ShotGunBillys. Or did you have another story?
I'll just say the other slide player that is
okay.
my, which I guess you call him a slide player, is more lap steel. David Lindley with, if you're familiar with him, with Jackson Brown.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know Jackson Brown had a slide player.
Yeah. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Lindley was. He just passed this. Well, when Gary Rossington passed, that was on a Sunday. Lindley passed on a Friday, and. I mean, if you get a chance, please. I mean, Jackson Brown even said, when David came in my room and started playing, I'd never met him. I was in a dressing room, and he said, and I thought this was the ultimate compliment. He said, I felt as if I'm listening to my songs for the first time. Wow. These songs I've been singing for years. It's like I'm listening to my own song because of the character that David brought to those,
Yeah.
Oh, he's a genius. He was. And,
I never would have imagined Jackson Brown had a slide player.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I can't think of his hits that have slide on it.
There's
a slide in there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna next time I hear it,
I gotta go dissect it.
Just get the Running on Empty album and just listen to the. Lindley also played fiddle and he was just one of those guys, just everything and cool. And wore polyester. I don't know. He's a weird cat. He was a weird dude, but
wore polyester.
Oh my God, he's an incredible musician.
So, man, ShotGunBillys, man. Let's talk about ShotGunBillys.
Okay.
When just give us a overview of how it all started. Yeah,
I was in a band in the early '90s. It was called Chase Buchanan. We were a country '90s thing, and I joined in '94. And then a few months later, the bass player David Snell joined.
Okay.
And so we were together for, I guess, 7 or 8 years.
Was that a cover band or an original band?
It was original.
Okay.
Yeah, we were trying to play the Nashville game.
Okay.
And had some good things happen, but we could also write a book on what not to do. Sure.
Nashville's a lot different in the mid-'90s, too.
Oh, man. We had a guy behind us, Uncle Joe Harris. He had a big part to do with Garth Brooks.
Okay.
And matter of fact, there's a song that Garth is called "Back When the Old Stuff Was New," and he said, "It was one big party, Uncle Joe. We owe it to you." I mean, thanked him in a song. That's apparently.
I'm waiting on somebody to do that for me.
Yeah, but Uncle Joe got behind us, and here we go. And then Uncle Joe had a massive heart attack, and he passed. And so there we go back down. So the roller coaster of all that. Put your eggs in this basket, and then it falls apart. Oh man, but we stayed together for a long time, and then I'd kind of had enough and quit. And I guess about 5 years, I did a contemporary Christian album, did it all on my own. I just wanted to see what happened if I played all the instruments. And
sure,
I grew up in a church where you better be ready to play. You don't know who's not going to show up, so you be ready to play whatever instrument. And growing up, my dad, they practiced at my my parents' house, and so my dad's band. So I'd pop the lock and go in there and play all the instruments. So I was fortunate to be exposed to all of them. And anyway, so I did that, and then Dave and I started talking and doing some acoustic stuff again.
And Dave is your bass player. David Snell.
David Snell, and so this band, this band started in ShotGunBillys started in 2008. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the wrong band. But 2008. And Case, our drummer, joined in. And I mean, here we go.
How did you meet Case?
Case being your drummer, Case Cooper?
Case has a pretty cool thing. He was around Memphis for a long time back in the 80s. And then he moved to Florida and joined a band, Duke Bardwell. And Duke played bass for Elvis when, was it Jerry Sheff? Is that his name? The bass player passed away. I believe it's his name. Not passed away. He quit for a couple years, and Duke came in and played bass with Elvis on the Las Vegas shows and the big Elvis, baby.
The Kung Fu Elvis.
Yeah, the Kung Fu Elvis.
Elvis.
And
that's a great band name.
Kung Fu Elvis.
But it would be good.
That is pretty good.
But they toured around Florida. I don't know, 10 years-ish, something like that. And then Case is originally from Marion, Arkansas, and so he moved back home, and my in-laws knew him. And, hey, you got to meet this guy. And I remember the first phone call, hey, man, we got to get together sometime. And me dog now.
And we creative from word go, just an original band, or did it start as a cover situation?
Oh, it originals were always,
the focus.
The focus, yeah. And it's funny, I was with my dad's band. I was with the Chase Buchanan band. Did a contemporary Christian thing, and then I've got this band, and then on and off did a couple things with Memphis City Limits.
Right.
We just, but for the most part, I've only ever been in 4 bands.
Yeah,
what I mean?
All original.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, in some form of originality.
See, the reason we keep asking that is because we're cover band musicians. That's all we've done. Yeah, for the 90% of it.
Right.
And man, we're just fascinated by all you original guys. It takes so much dedication and so much work, and it's completely.
I mean, it's a skill set that I just don't have. But respect to bit, I love cover bands too. There's a whole other level of respect and awesomeness to the bands that crush it.
Sure.
Yep. But the original, like Jeff said, the original side of things has become more fascinating for me because of this podcast and just meeting people like yourself.
I live and breathe the right songs. It's kind of my diary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
That's cool.
it's what it's just what I do. I was with that band in the 90s, and then I said, man, we wish we could do an album. And no one wrote songs, so let me see what I can do. And then bang, it started doing well. I just paid attention, to just the science of a song, and I had some great mentors.
But I've paid attention too, and I suck at it. And so it is not easy.
Well, this 4th album is taking me a lot longer to write right now, but I don't get down Man, let it come to you. Greg Allman said it. He said, just let it come to you. It'll come to you. If you push it, it's going to sound contrived, or it's going to sound,
This is a solo album?
No, it's
another ShotGunBillys.
Yeah, I'm about 75%. So I got a few more songs to write.
This will be album number 4?
Yes.
Because you got Bam, Capricorn, and Mississippi, right?
Right.
I love the names, man. Especially Capricorn.
Well, Bam was our drummer through the 90s. He was the guy who took Dave and I kind of under his wing.
Okay.
And he passed away. And so we named it that in honor of him. And then
what was his full name?
Chris Bam Bam Wilmuth.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris
Bam
Wilmuth.
Bam.
Yeah, we only Bam Bam. Hey, you know what? We would be playing the smallest bar, whatever, and he'd always have his passes on. And folks would laugh at him and stuff. But you know what? I mean, that's not something I'm going to do, but it was just his uniform. As you see some,
Did he have all the passes kind of on one?
Well, he did. Well, it just depended on what the day was, really, But this man loved it with all he had, and he really made Dave and I believe in ourselves.
Sure.
He really did. And then there's something to that. And I wrote a song on it's funny. Our first album's Bam. But on Mississippi, I wrote a song called Bam, and it was that thing of I don't want to be sad anymore about it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Let me write a song about what he was all about.
Celebrate it.
My God, when he had a kick drum, it was just thunder.
Right.
You know, big arms, big guy. He was a big guy, you know. So when he hit a snare too, pow!
breaking sticks all over the place.
For lack of better words, I told him, I said, dude, when you play, it's like a herd of buffaloes running up my butt, because he was, you know, I'm right behind him in the front singing, you know.
You tear down and just sawdust all around the drum kit.
Yeah, that's right. But he wasn't a lot of flash, but my goodness, he could just plow the runway. Right. You know, he was just one of those guys. You know?
So when did Shotgun Billies really start gaining some traction?
You know, we had we just had good rapport with a lot of, you know, from what we did before, and a lot of connections. And our bass player Dave, he lives in Bentonville, Arkansas. Okay. And so that's where he lives. And he kind of built a life there. And then he's been playing with some bands. So between what we already had in Northeast Arkansas and then what he kind of had going over there, we ultimately pretty quick had a good, you know, places, you know, a good bit of places to play. Right.
Just in that region of Arkansas.
Yeah. And Memphis was not anything. We'd always heard Memphis, you're not going to make any money in Memphis because everybody's undercutting each other, you know, and I don't know. That's just what was said. So it was just out of sight, out of mind, I guess, you know. And then I moved from Jonesboro. My wife and I, we moved over to Marion, which is where she, her father had a business. And so Memphis is right here. So just slowly gravitated toward, you know.
It sucked you in, man.
It sucked me in, yeah. But
well, it does seem to me that and we've talked about this, it's harder for original bands to make good money here.
Yeah.
But the cover bands, I know, the upper echelon of those guys, they're making some good money.
Right, right.
They're bringing crowds. They're doing well.
And we do you know, we walk into the place and get the vibe, and then we're going to do original. We're going to especially the first 3-4 songs. We have to set our presence. It kind of, you know, we got to find our tree to be on. Yeah. I mean, this is who we are, and you know, we'll do all this other stuff too. But
when you do your solo acoustic stuff, is it a mixture?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and my mouth gets going, and I love to tell stories about songs.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
You know, and pull people in.
Sure.
You know? And
I think that's a huge part of the experience,
especially of original music. You know,
the good story is engaging. This really is.
Oh man, Jackson Brown's the king of that. I'm going back and forth about him
and Paul Stanley.
Oh really?
Shout out to Sean Feud.
Yeah, he tells some good stories.
But I went to see Jackson at the Orpheum my first time I saw him. My wife and I did, and he walks out and people just start yelling songs, and I'm going, "Why didn't I get this memo?"
Right.
You know, and okay, let's do that one. You know, he's got like 20 acoustics and a piano, and you know, I love that. And he'll tell those stories, and just like you said, it just sucks you right in.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys got stories.
Yeah,
his whole thing with the Eagles and how they started out together. And
he wrote a song, and he was 16 and wrote a song called "These Days," and it. Greg Allman's covered it. There's been quite a few people cover it. He wrote it at 16 years old. And it's about a middle-aged man who forgot to live, basically, and look back, and I'm going,
how does he have that perspective?
At 16.
How did you do this? You know? Yeah.
He grew up too fast, man. Yeah. Chill out, man. Yeah, enjoy the teenager. That's right. Go smoke some pot.
Yeah, I always tell my kids, when you're 16, be 16. Don't try to be 17.
Right.
Yeah, he was just an exception to the rule, you know.
So now Shotgun Billies gets around pretty good. You guys do a lot of running. I saw on your website you got a lot of good tour dates.
We do.
So what's your circuit look like?
Well, of course, Memphis is home base.
Yeah.
The Hard Rock Casino in Tulsa, we hit that quite a bit. We're all over Oklahoma quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We usually do a Texas run at least once a year. Florida. We're gearing up to leave for South Dakota this actually Wednesday. So with this Little Sturgis, which is the ATV,
right?
And I guess no motorcycles, just bring your souped up golf carts.
Right.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
And then Big Sturgis, we do it every year too. And so we did 17 shows in 14 days.
How far apart are those two events, or is it back to back?
No, it's I think August 1st is around when the Big Sturgis.
The real one.
Yeah.
So you'll go up and down. You do both.
Yeah, we do. And it's funny, our Dave, he's got a Harley, and then Joe Boogie, our piano player, has a Harley. But I'm a mountain biker, so I'm the only idiot at Sturgis with a bike with no motor.
That's great.
Everyone's like, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, you brought up the last name, Joe Boogie
Yeah.
Keys. Is that his real name?
Joe Boogie Simmons.
Boogie Simmons.
Yeah.
He should go by Boogie Simmons.
Yeah.
Boogie Simmons.
That's what I'm talking about.
No Boogie. He's been with us a couple years now, and he and I were in a band with Jeff Adams, Stacey Michelle, and Tony Meharry. It was Memphis City Limits, and I just I've always wanted to be in a band with a B3.
Sure.
One of we were talking about heroes. Another one of mine is familiar with a guy named Ian Moore out of Austin, Texas.
I know the name, but I'm not super familiar.
And it was guitar, bass, drums, B3. You know, and it's just that infinite underneath, and then when it's time to go, Boogie can go at it. And he toured, I think, let's see, Little Melton, Bobby Blue Bland's.
Okay.
You get to be around all these legends before, in their older days. And I think he went all over the world with Bobby Blue Bland's, but he was Artemis Pyle of Leonard Skinner. Boogie's done a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
And,
the few songs I saw y'all play at Neil's for that benefit, it was speaking of Tony Meharry, it was for the Amber,
right?
Meharry benefit. And he's one of those guys that even though he's sitting down, he's performing back there. He's animated. He's getting into it.
Yeah, he feels everything he does.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
And it really added to the show. But you had a fill-in bass player, I believe.
Yeah, my buddy Jake Long. I mean, he looks like he's my age, but he's 26, I'm 27.
Yeah, and he was just thumping along.
Man, he is
great.
But he's a guitar player.
Yeah, he's got his own band.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he is incredible. I'm so proud of him. And my dad's band, he has family that was tied into that too, and he grew up in my hometown, and so it's really a neat thing, and people help me out, and what little I know, I pass it forward, to Jake, but he's one of my best friends too, set guitars aside,
So he was an easy one to fill in. I mean, you bring him in. Made sense.
Yeah. When Dave can't make it sometimes, and so Jake, Jake, does his thing. But I respect him hardcore as a guitar player. Man, he is really doing well.
Cool.
And so I encourage anybody to go see, if you see the Jake Long band anywhere, go check him out.
Well, I don't know him, but we'll be in touch with him at some point to get him in here to talk to him.
There you go.
Yeah, we need. I mean, he plays bass, but we need more bass players in here. This guy, Jeff, does all the booking, and we've had 13 drummers and 2 bass players. That's not coincidence.
That's not a coincidence.
Just happen to know a lot of drums.
That's just how it works.
So writing, I know everyone has their not one particular process. Writing is, very, there's no right or wrong way. But when it comes to ShotGunBillys, is there a system? Do you bring stuff to them? And then they just pad into it, or how does that process work for y'all?
Well, it's funny. We all kind of have our avenues with this band. Dave is doing a lot of the social media, a lot of the booking, and I'm the guy in the delivery room, writing them out.
The primary writer,
And it's, I think with almost as many songs as there are, as many ways to write a song. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but sometimes I have a groove in my head, or something will come along and it'll bounce off something else that I'd heard. I mean, it's not like I'm copying or anything like that, but
inspiration.
Oh yeah, right. That's inspiration, exactly what it is. And then or something will hit me with words, and then I kind of,
it varies. Yeah,
it varies. I'm not stuck in one way, and sometimes a song will take a year. Sometimes a song will be done in 2 hours, and I'm
I've asked that question probably 20 times now, and it's never, I do it exactly this way.
Right.
The only way I write.
Yeah. It's literally like going fishing. Once you get a bite, and however it happens, it may be on.
You got to run to get a napkin and write something down.
Right. Grab your phone, whatever it takes, And it's funny, I write on my phone quite a bit because it's so convenient, but I like having my notepads because I can go, I have notepads, and from the years, backpacks full of notepads, and I'll go through them now still and go, man, why do I need to use that? That's good.
The archives.
Cool. Right.
Sure.
You get stuck on something. Go to the notepad.
Yeah. Right.
A one word would probably pop out. Next thing you know, you got a whole verse, right?
Right.
I'm saying that like I know how to do it.
No, it's exactly what it is.
And we just
man.
talked about how I'm the cover band guy, but it seems like that would be,
And you got it's a tough place. You got to know when to say when, because sometimes you're trying to, you're hard at work.
Yeah.
Trying to grind it out, and then but you need to go. To me, there's times I have to go. You know what? Back off. stop. You're going to write something stupid and think it
Forcing
fits.
it, right?
Right, forcing it. Yeah, don't force it. But then again, you still have to work at it too. So that's that fine line. You got to find it.
So with the 3 albums you have out now, are we talking about 12 songs per?
Yeah, 11, 12.
So that's 36 there. You're working on a new album. With that, you've probably written 100, right?
Oh man,
just because they're not, not every original's on the album. So.
No. There's a lot of songs that I've never seen the light of day, and some of them actually I may have wrote back when I was with the Chase Buchanan band, and hey, let's revisit that. You know, our first album we needed one more song, and I was going, man, what's something from the old days that would be fitting, And I'd written this song called "Fried Chicken Love."
Fried chicken love.
Yeah, but it's got a cool groove. You just got to hear it. And and I thought, well, maybe that would be a good one. And then I got a message from somebody that said, hey, just right then, where can I get a hold of Fried Chicken Love? And went, it's a sign. It's a sign. We got to lay down Fried Chicken Love.
It's in now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's in.
No other choice.
Now, do you guys have a favorite place that you record? Or do you just kind of, it depends on the album?
It just depends.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends. We've really been wanting to work with someone like Warren Haynes, or actually Ricky Medlock he came to one of our shows. It was geared up. He was going to do our third album, and then
produce your album.
Mm-hmm.
He produces albums.
Well, yeah.
At least he was going to produce your album.
Yeah, and attach that name to that's in the genre of really what we are. And I think he was Skinner extended the tour, and
they kind of get busy every now and then.
They're road dogs, man.
They're almost there. They're going to be a household name one day.
Yeah.
So I see this note in here off your website about landing a spot on the movie soundtrack to The River Within.
Mm-hmm.
The song is "Let's Get Country."
Yeah,
is that right?
That's right. That was the first song I wrote for the first album, and that first album I don't want to go negative, but I'm just not. Whatever Nashville's become is nothing I want to be a part of.
Understand?
Nowadays.
Oh, dude.
Let me just say it like that.
We can shit on Nashville. Good.
Well,
I lived there for 5 years, and even then, 2005 to 10 through 10, it was awesome. But now it's just
in 14, I was writing some stuff, and that kind of geared that direction. Travis Tritt. Would be a good, somewhere between Southern or rock and roll, good rockin' country band.
Love Travis Tritt. I do too. It has that upbeat swing to it.
Yeah, and that's our first album has a lot of that on there, and
a lot of fast train beats.
Yeah,
that type of vibe.
Yeah. But Let's Get Country came along. Growing up, where I just want to write a song about. Yeah, so I was writing some with Wonder Chapel, in Nashville, and to walk into a room with someone that I don't know.
Yep.
And I can't really write songs with someone anyway, because you're watching a movie and you're just sucked into the movie and you're a part of the movie, right? And then all of a sudden somebody comes in the kitchen and starts putting something in a microwave, and you're going,
pulls you right out of it.
Right, yeah, that's writing songs for me.
I was I was thinking about the Nashville way of doing it when we were talking about your process of writing, and I was thinking, totally different than just going in there and having this strict process that they follow.
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but I had a lot of friends that were writers out there too, and they would schedule. Yeah, they would schedule a writer's night. 3 or 4 guys get together. They just think of something. They'd be co-writers. They'd keep track of who's co-writing and what, and ultimately, they're being creative, but also a part of it was, let's try to write a song that someone will take and put on an album or use a single. So there's that motive behind it.
Right.
Which, respect.
Totally respect.
Like Chris Stapleton's a great example. Chris Stapleton is Chris Stapleton, but he also wrote for Trace Atkins.
Right. He's had quite a few hits with a lot of
and the gimmicky stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But he sat down. He got a publishing deal. It's his job, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of the Nashville vibe I always experience out there is creativity, but it's a job. We got to write some songs. We got to write 20 songs this week.
That's not happening.
And I love Trace Atkins, but Swing Batter Batter Swing can kiss my ass. It's the worst shit I've ever heard in my life.
Man, all I know is my
badonkadonk.
Oh God, yes.
You can't have heart and have greed in the same place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it's become.
It's a fine line, right?
Yeah, and I'll just say this: hats off once again to those people who can do that.
Oh, yeah.
But when I came home and just started writing from the heart and organically, you know, I want to write a song for my wife. I want to write a song about my grandfather. I've got a song about PTSD. Writing from an organic place, just my whatever in me is genuine. You know what I mean? Just it came out. You know, and I don't know, man. It's just I don't know how to be anything other than just.
You're writing songs for yourself. You're not trying to write songs for other people. Then it goes back to the Nashville thing because you get the writers, you get the studio musicians, and you get the artists, and it is that deal. So a lot of the artists they don't write. So there's writers that hopes that guy takes their song.
Right.
So you're writing for someone else.
Right.
That's the bag.
Yeah, that's
but what you do and what a lot of people do, that rootsy stuff, you're writing for yourself.
It's
you're not trying to impress anybody.
And somebody's going to relate to it.
Yeah.
I was talking with Dave Mason. You familiar with Dave Mason?
I've heard the name.
I'm thinking of Brad Mason.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was in Traffic. That song, We Just Disagree. I don't know if you know it. Yeah. He wrote Feeling All Right, Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
There you go.
My buddy drives his bus, and we were having a good, we met at the Home Depot parking lot in, on Wolf Chase. Yeah, around Wolf Chase area. And the bus comes pulling in. It was kind of cool. My wife made a pecan pie for him, and he absolutely loves those. So we hit it off. Man, we hit it off. And I mean, all these great songs he's written. And I just said, so you're still writing? And he said, man, he said, why? He said, I'm going to get screwed out of it, you know, as far as my publishing somehow. Something. It's just, and I said, well, man, that's not what it's about anymore. We write for our people. Right. You know, they're gifts. Sure. You know, whether it's about a situation or whether it's for someone or, like I said, I wrote a song called This Killer You've Created about PTSD, and it's on our second album. You know, write about things that, I don't know, you've got a meaning behind it, you know, and it's like I said, it's very organic. And for me, that's the way to come to it.
Sure. It's easy to get jaded in this business, right? So that would block, if you're just cynical and just negative about the business, it's blocking the airwaves to the gifts from the heavens.
It really is.
That melody that used to just drop in and download in your head,
right?
That's blocked.
And Nashville will shut the door for me, and that I would not get. There would be none of that, right? Because I just can't play that game. Especially you feel like I've got a song called that's on our last album called "These Old Bars," and it's about really kind of tells a story of what you know. Go and think you're going to go to Nashville and really make a dent, and you know you just feel like it says you feel like basically a drop of water in a bucket full of water. You know, I'm just one more. I mean, he wants, you know.
And that bucket's huge now. There's so much, so many people there.
And it's the mentality, you know, and I'm just not of that mentality. I stay in my lane and run my race. And, you know, I don't know what all works for other people, but I know what works for me.
Yeah, and it is working for you. I mean, you're busy as hell. And
I did 258 shows last year.
That's awesome.
And to do that as an original band, an original artist is fucking badass.
Thanks, man.
It is.
That is awesome.
And I'm very excited to get back to a Shotgun Billy show.
Well, thank you.
I want to see one with David playing bass.
Sure.
Because the only show that I've seen, you had a sub for him,
right.
And no disrespect to Jake,
no,
I want to see
all.
the original lineup. And when you guys please keep us apprised of your local shows.
No, done deal.
Done
deal. I'll text you.
Your website will be in the description. And anyone listening, go to the website, click that link, and you got your tour dates right in there.
We spell it wrong too. It's
you spelled what wrong?
The name of the band is so Arkansas. It's okay. It's ShotGunBillys, all one word. It looks cool as it could be, but it's a marketing nightmare.
ShotGunBillys.
ShotGunBillys. Yeah, man. But
and I see on your website you have a fan club. You guys doing anything with that?
That's something Dave is trying to kind of get going. And, there's been quite a few people.
Sort of like try to get that email list so you can promote your shows and stuff.
So we have one too, and if you'll join ours, we'll join yours.
Done deal.
You'd be the only guy in ours.
Our fan club. Yeah. This is our fan clubhouse. We're sitting right here. Oh, another thing I noticed is you guys have a laundry list of endorsements on your website.
Well, it's just, I think what we use. I know David has quite a few endorsements.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, I don't. I'm not Matt Montgomery, but I'm a good fifth place. I have enough instruments. That
In terms of the collection of instruments.
Holy crap, that guy's got everything.
Yeah.
Man, I just got a 58 VOS or 54 Les Paul. That's, I mean, of course, it's a reissue,
Right.
But
I love how his drum tracking room in his studio is just a little corner surrounded by the wall of instruments he's got.
yeah,
It's
right.
like it's the room for all his instruments, and then we track drums over here in the corner. It's just it's all guitars.
And that brings up another question we should ask. So, do you have a favorite guitar, a favorite style, a favorite brand?
I have two.
Okay.
I bought a Paul Reed Smith
Okay.
in '94, and it's been my right arm.
Yeah.
And I met Paul in '96. I believe we were at Corner Music in Nashville, and he was doing free alterations. And man, he customized.
Wow.
He really took care of me. And
So it's the feel that you like.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
just
cool
home
to have the
base.
guy that freaking invented the thing making changes for you.
Yeah. It was he and his, I guess, one of his guys, and they, he said, "What do you not like about my guitar?" And I went, "What do I say to this?"
This sounds like shit, man. I don't know how to tell you, but
I said, "Look," he said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Just make it sound as close to Dwayne at the Fillmore, and we're good," And he put some McCarty pickups, but he got me because what did I do? Like a couple months later, I went and bought a hollow body. I'm like, I became that,
Right.
Wow, he did that for me.
Right.
It worked.
Right.
do you like Tellys?
I love him.
Yeah.
Love him. And when I pick up a Telecaster, I instantly want to chicken pick.
Yeah.
And, that band I was in the '90s, the Chase Buchanan band, we were a country band. And I don't know why they hired me. I had a half stack Marshall and a 78 custom black Les Paul.
Right.
And
That's not country.
no, not at all. And I'm, it's funny. They came to see us, my dad and I play. And man, back then I'm swinging from the rafters and I'm doing the curly shuffle on the dance floor. I mean, just acting a fool. I'm 19,
Right.
Were you doing Kung Fu Elvis?
No, I didn't do that. But their drummer, Bam Bam elbowed the other guitar player. He goes, "Hey man, there's your new guitar player." Like, here we go. And I think at one time they were probably going to talk to me about either letting me go or something. But just so happened that day I accidentally borrowed a telly and thought, well, let me see what this sounds like. And man, when
they have a punch to them.
Oh man! And once I felt that,
Mm-hmm.
there it went. I mean, I was hooked. And there's some great guitar players over in Northeast Arkansas, and a buddy of mine named Steve Goins, who I credit him for showing. He never sit down and teach me, but just getting the vibe and watching him, and man, he could eat up that Jerry Reed. Thing. And so I just want some of that. And what that did, playing with all of my fingers, ended up opening me up to playing slide.
Because that's a big part of it, because you're muting strings, right? You're going to be more precise.
Exactly. So Telly, playing that more of that country style opened my slide licks up. So, it's neat how that works.
I witnessed the versatility of Telly's.
Versatility.
Thank you. Almost an hour before we play a sound. Pretty good deal. That's a sound when I say something stupid.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's surprising we've made it this long.
The neck pickup on a Telecaster, I love that too.
Yeah.
Steve Cropper.
There you go.
What else you need to say?
Yeah.
That middle position and how he worked that. Oh,
Prince played the shit out of
sure did.
Telly's. I mean, it's just a big fan.
Well, don't tell my wife that's probably the next one I'm looking for.
How many Tellys do you have?
3. Yeah,
3?
Just 3.
That's it?
That's not enough.
How many guitars do you have? Oh, don't say.
No,
we don't want your wife to hear.
No.
Maybe
She
the IRS
knows. She walks by them in my music room every day.
We hope she doesn't sell them for what you told her you paid for
Oh
them.
my God!
You walk in, all the guitars are gone, but there's a new car in the driveway.
Yeah, that's somewhere close to 30.
Wow,
And
Nice.
there's no cheap ones, But
Yeah.
I've never had a drug habit or a alcohol. I mean, it's funny. The drummer, someone waitress walks. Hey, can I get you guys a beer? No, you got any unsweet tea?
That's me at a gig. Yeah. I don't drink much either.
Yeah, I've never had a vice other than guitars and amplifiers,
Yeah.
and I love them. I do. Only thing better than one's 2.
As far as acoustic guitars, what's your go-to?
Oh man, I've got it out in the truck right now.
Yeah.
It is. It's a Guild, thin-bodied Guild. They call them songbirds.
I know what it is.
Clapton played one on the one of his From the Cradle, or I think that was a tour. Barry Gibbs has a model of. I mean, I was running a music store in 2001, and this guitar comes in, and I guess Guild was owned by Fender, or maybe I guess probably still is. I look at it. What is this? Hang it up,
Right.
you know. And somewhere, day or two later, someone comes in talking, and you do that thing where you're not even thinking, you pull it off the wall. Oh man, this is it.
That's it. I gotta buy
That's
it.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had to have it.
Cool.
Honey,
Yeah.
I'm buying another one.
Oh man, I have a great story.
Oh, you just walk in with one and she's like, really?
Yeah. I don't know if I want to tell this or not. I play a Dr. Z amplifier. Okay, I'm going for it. This is going to be the
The
highlight.
Dr. Z, that's like high-end shit right there, right?
Yeah. I've played this Dr. Z since the band's been put together 15 years. It is just home base. Oh God, I can't believe. Do I really want to go there?
Is this going to get you in trouble?
No. This is going to get me laughed at. That's what I'm going to do. But
People laugh at us all the time.
I'm the guy that's strong enough to handle.
Take
the
some of the
criticism
laughs
and get
from
laughed.
me.
Okay.
Like, I'm the one that makes an ass of myself here. So
My wife says, you need a vasectomy.
I didn't see that coming.
You've lost your mind. It's not happening, right? But you know what happens when you get the fever for an instrument? You'll do anything. I want this.
It's mine. Like, you got to do it.
Yeah. What do you think she says? I'll trade you. I've been playing that Dr. Z for 15 years now. So I'm going to get on Dr. Z's message board because
That's awesome.
on their message board, it said, someone said, hey, what did you give up to get your Z?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to love this. And I type out the whole story and I thought, no, I'm not going to be known as that guy. And I just told the story.
Yeah, now you are. That's awesome.
Big
We
mouth.
got billions of fans, too.
Billions of fans.
Yeah, this is going to add several with this story.
Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, you can edit that if you want to.
Okay, even that.
Okay, I just
That's
did it.
up to you.
My wife is going to be shaking her head going, I can't.
So you're going to watch or
Well,
listen
the
to
great
this?
part
yeah.
is,
Oh yeah, man, she's incredible. She's my biggest fan. I have to say.
Yeah, let's end on a good note. Let's say some nice
that's
things about
awesome.
her.
Say great things about the wife.
I'll say that we just became grandparents. So we're
Sweet.
excited about
How many
that.
kids you got?
3.
Three kids.
Yeah,
And
we
then-
got
And
3.
one grandbaby.
One grandbaby.
That's awesome.
Oh man, they talk about walking through a new door of life.
Oh,
as,
yeah.
Getting a little bit older now. What?
Yeah.
Mm.
No. When people use that word with me, you keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
It'll hurt me when it gets me.
I hope I'm a grandfather someday because I'll love having that baby and then I'll love giving it back.
Yeah, here he's crying. Here, you smell that? Here.
I've paid my dues, man. It's your turn.
That's right. That's right.
So, well, Lance, man, this has been awesome to meet you, man. This
Same
has
here,
been
guys.
great.
I really appreciate this opportunity.
We appreciate you coming, man. It's guys like you that afford us the opportunity to do what we're doing.
Yeah, and we get a front row seat to all these great stories and background stories and origin stories.
And awesome stories that don't ever make the air.
Yeah.
Those are even better.
Oh yeah,
Vasectomies.
when the mics turn off, man. Woo.
Vasectomy stories and everything.
Well,
great.
before we say bye, Lance, let's educate the audience a little bit, Jeff, on our platforms. Let's remind them where can they find us. Buddy?
Yeah, check us out on YouTube and Facebook. Mondays at 6 p.m. is when the video will drop. And all the streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora. Check us out there.
And if you like this episode, because you should, share it. Just push it out there. Hit share it to a friend.
Yep.
You're going to be seeing a series of clips from Lance over this week. So stick around. Facebook at the Rhythm Section Pod. That's where we promote everything. If you're interested in supporting us through Patreon, click that link and join that tip jar. And shirts, hats, coffee mugs, and tumblers. Boba Cream, 131 West Commerce Street in Hernando. I know a lot of the majority of our audience is in Memphis.
Yep.
But, Steve Owens, Brandon Marier, Jimmy Fulp.
Got a few Hernando folks.
Yeah, we got some. Yeah, come on, buy a shirt. And and then maybe we'll have a little retail location in Memphis. Maybe that'd be cool.
We're working on it.
Yeah. We are?
Yeah.
No, we're not. It would be nice.
Yeah.
Have you made phone calls?
No.
Oh. Are you going to make this announcement without me like you've done with other
Probably.
things?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, we're just picking on each other now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, look, guys, check out the ShotGunBillys. Check out all their links and everything about them will be in the description.
Yep.
These guys are killer. Get out there and support local music and local original music.
Subscribe to that fan club too and get some of that information. But
Yep.
Lance McDaniel, thanks,
you, guys.
buddy. This has been
Appreciate
fun,
you.
Man, yeah.
And,
So great to meet you. And
Yeah.
now y'all know more about me than I meant for y'all to know.
Seriously, reach out when you have a local show in the area, man.
we're there.
Oh, I'm there. I
Count on
want to catch it. So.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.